Hey there, welcome in. It's Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to deliver a message from Metatron and our guides and guardians. It is coming through on the new moon in Sagittarius. I believe the new moon is tomorrow, December 1st, 2024. But this message isn't entirely exclusive to the new moon. So if you're seeing this at a later date, just know that there's a message in here for you. This message is coming through the new moon, but it isn't necessarily like exclusive to the energy of this new moon. I've just set a goal for myself to record a video at the new moon. So anyway, that's my commitment to myself and my commitment to this channel. So not necessarily a new moon reading. That's why I bring it up. I'm also somebody that needs deadlines. So because I'm a huge procrastinator, so it's good for me to have these deadlines. So I pulled some cards yesterday preparing for this video today. So just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about, the cards that came up were belief, commitment, and flow. Really beautiful energies here. And then the energy of cardinals came up and lavender. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to pull some tarot cards and we'll just see how we go. So settle in, get comfortable. Thanks for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Did I say who I am? I'm Heather. Welcome in. So the cards that I pulled, just asking, what Spirit wanted to talk about. The first one, and I love this, it's the card says belief. I love the image of this. The child looking out across the sky, making a wish. There's a shooting star. He has his dog sitting by him, his familiar, just expansive, beautiful, anything is possible energy. I love that. So that's the first card that came up. The next one was commitment, card number 10. This card, belief, is number 8. Card number 10 is commitment. We can get her to focus there. Beautiful energy here. Like there's a lot of inspiration. The energy of miracles is coming through. I really love this. It's a beautiful card. I love the rising up, the rising above, committing to yourself, your well-being, interesting. The third card that came up was the card of flow. Looks like this. So we have some water energy coming in, which is, really beautiful. Feminine energy. I really feel water energy is being very feminine. So the energy of flow, going with the flow, finding your flow, finding that ease and that grace for yourself. The other energy that came in was cardinals. So I did find, I don't have a lot of, I really resonate with birds, I think because they can fly, and I love the idea of freedom and being able to escape and fly away. So I've always really resonated with birds. It took me a minute to find a card or find, I wanted to find a card, and I was able to find this card. It says Cardinal Medicine. This is out of the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. So cardinals came in, specifically cardinals, and now I see why. As we get to that, I'll explain. And then also lavender came in. Some of the colors that came through that I was seeing, of course, purple, violet, magenta, and turquoise. So these might all be really helpful energies for us to work with. So let's see, where should we start? Should we start with, I think I want to go ahead and start with the color purple, and then we'll move, we'll pull some tarot for each of these cards that was pulled. But purple and violet, those are beautiful. It's a beautiful ray to call in for depression. So if you are, really struggling with depression, with sadness, purple or violet is great for that. Purple and violet, I don't know if you guys have heard of the violet flame. Saint Germain carries that energy. Saint Germain is a guide that has been with me my whole life, as has Metatron, but I didn't realize that until later on. But Saint Germain he carries that violet flame energy with him, which clears density, it clears restriction. It also helps to remove judgment, which is really helpful. So, calling upon the purple ray, I use the purple ray all the time. If you're familiar with Ganesha, it kind of has the energy of Ganesh, that, this big expansive energy that can help remove obstacles, that can help remove density, blocks, conflicts, restrictions, judgments about yourself. So that violet ray is a really helpful energy to work with. That's really coming in. So, calling on that purple ray, the violet ray, and even if you're not even good at, if you can't really, I know some people can't imagine or visualize, that's okay. Look at the color purple and then just imagine yourself being surrounded by that. Or just call in the violet ray, or call in Saint Germain. Saint Germain really helps to bring in that violet ray to help clear out density. So working with the violet ray, I think, is going to be really helpful. That came through really, really powerfully. The other color that came through that is great to work with is magenta. I know magenta's been the color of this entire year. Magenta connects into our authentic self, our higher self, really helping us to get solid on what is our truth, what is our purpose, why are we here, getting into greater alignment with us and with ourself. And magenta has purple in it too, so no, that doesn't surprise me. Magenta really helps to clear the way. Something that Metatron is saying right now is that purple can be used with is to help remove judgment of ourselves and guilt. I'm pretty sure I did a video on guilt a while back, but that energy of guilt really keeps us stuck. It can keep us stuck in cycles and patterns that are really unhealthy for us. So, use that violet ray to help release guilt and shame. That's another one. Should we start pulling cards? Is there anything else? And we'll get into lavender. And I've got a little passage I'm going to read about lavender as well. Lavender holds the purple flame as well. However, lavender does it in a different way. It does it in a more feminine way, whereas like if the energy of Saint Germain, he holds that violet flame in a more masculine way. It's a heavier, not really heavier, but more concentrated energy, possibly. Anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, so the card of belief, and I love that was the first card that came up, because there's just a lot of crap going on in the world. It can be really easy to become discouraged, to become, I don't know, down. So let's pull 3 cards on the card of belief. Spirit, what would you like us to know about belief? And I'm just using the traditional Rider-Waite deck today. Nothing super fancy. Oh shit, and of course I drop it on the floor. Oh, okay. Oh, so we got the Chariot in reverse. I'll show you the cards once I pull them all. So 2 more cards, please. And thanks so much for being here, you guys. I value you, your time, and your support, and I really hope these messages are helpful. One more here. So we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. I don't know if you can hear Maggie. She's over here on the other side of me. She's snoring very loudly. One more card here. Looking at the energy of belief. Wow, and we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. So interesting. We have, let me just make sure that my whole deck isn't in reverse. No, it is not. Okay. So Chariot in reverse, Four of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse. So definitely an energy here of slowing down. Feeling unable to move, not maybe wanting to move, feeling a lot of stagnant energy, afraid of losing control. That is an energy that's coming up with that Four of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of lack energy coming in here. So all of the energies that take us away from the energy of belief. How do you reconnect with that energy? How do you reconnect with your belief system? And even I want to say just that imaginative, anything's possible type energy that you can feel from this card here. How do you tap back into it? It's almost like we're being asked to, put all of our doubts aside, put all of our put our humanness aside, I guess, is the feeling that I'm getting here. And there's also the energy with the Knight of Cups in reverse. There's the energy here of there's nothing here for me, or there's nothing, I don't have anything to offer, or it's almost like the universe doesn't have anything to offer me. It's a lot of lack energy. Let me just show you these cards. So I feel like these cards are showing us the collective energy that a lot of us are feeling right now. Kind of like, what's the point? That energy of depression. I can see why the energy of the purple ray is coming through. So how are we? What's a good way if we're in just a really deep, dark, kind of depressed place? Kind of feeling defeated. What's the point? There's nothing here for me. How then do we have faith, trust, and belief? Where do we get that from? How can we call in that energy? I'm going to pull some cards just because it's fun. But while I'm shuffling, I'm just going to listen to what Metatron, what would you like to say about that? Apparently I can't shuffle and pay attention. So he's saying it's important to remember that we are divine beings. And when he was talking about releasing our humanness and putting that aside, it is so that we can connect with our soul, our spirit, that part of us that is timeless, that part of us that never dies, to expand out of the body, not be so focused on what is physical and what is tangible, but the expansiveness of who we are, which can be really hard to imagine or connect into when you are in a human body and there appears to be so many limits and boundaries and dead ends. It is important to remember that we are energy, we're spirits, we're souls, we are expansive energy made in the image of the divine, of source, of God, whatever word you like to use for that. And if we are made in that image, then we are ourselves gods. That might trigger some people, but that is really true, which means we are unlimited beings. We are expansive beings. We are limitless. So it's good to slow down and take a moment to just kind of tap into that and remember that. And Metatron is saying, call on him, call on your guides, call on whatever energy that you really resonate with to help you remember who you are and help you remember your soul, help you remember that expansive energy. He's also saying, Maggie's making me laugh with her snoring. He's also saying if you really are having a hard time connecting in with this energy of who you truly are, spend time with children because they very much are in tune with that limitless, anything is possible. They haven't forgotten who they are. They haven't been conditioned out of their true, authentic self. So spend some time with children. Okay, now I'm going to shuffle some cards. Metatron saying yes. Shuffle some cards, and he's saying he will be quiet because apparently I can only do one thing at a time. Okay, so helping us with belief, faith, trust. And I believe that's one of the questions that I'm asking in the December readings. Yes, yeah, it is. So, trust is definitely faith, trust in the universe. That is a question that I'm asking. So, I've started posting the December tarot readings. So go check those out. Okay, so connecting with belief, connecting with faith, additional advice and guidance. And then we'll move into commitment. And I appreciate you being patient. I know people oftentimes have the attention span of just 30, 60 seconds. But I just can't, I don't work fast like that. So we've got the Nine of Wands, the energy of defeat. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Woo! And we have the Seven of Swords, all in reverse again, which is very interesting. And again, this is just a reminder again to step out of our humanness. Let go of where you're feeling defeated, where you're feeling lost. Let go of what you think you should have in order to be seen as a successful person or having value. Your value trumps anything here. It's above and beyond anything on this planet. And step away, even just for a short period of time, to reconnect with yourself. Step away from ways that you cut yourself off from source. So that's going to be more of the sabotage type of behaviors, addictions, being overly consumed in situations and things that have no value in the long term. And when I'm saying in the long term, I mean when you're no longer here on this planet. It's removing yourself from all of that and taking a breath and slowing down. Going back to, what I was saying about when I was talking about the attention span, the 30, 60-second attention span, putting away your device, giving yourself time away from your phone, time away from scrolling. These are all things that make it really hard for you to connect with your divine essence. And this message, this comes through quite often because I feel like so many of our guides are really doing their best to reach out to us, and we can't hear them because we're very distracted and we're very caught up in, I'm just going to say it, the bullshit of this world. And we are here to experience this world, but the message that's coming through here is taking time to connect with that divine essence, because that's where the energy of belief comes. That's where that energy of anything is possible comes in. And these are the energies that can really help strengthen your faith. That's where miracles come in. All of that. Okay, So moving on to commitment. And I thought that that was an interesting card to come up. Well, let's pull some cards because there's a few different ways I can take the commitment part. I think it's interesting too. At the beginning of this video, I was talking about I made the commitment to bring a video through each new moon. You know, and I chose the new moon because it's my favorite lunar cycle. It's also, just want to make sure I've still got my mic on. I forgot to charge it. It's my favorite lunar cycle. I feel the best around the new moon. I have more energy. So that's why I've committed to doing either a new moon video or bringing through a video at the new moon. I feel like it's important to have some commitments that are just for us, that are just for you, for your well-being, and that you are committed to that. So let's pull 3 cards on the card of commitment. What would you like us to know about commitment? Or Spirit, what are you wanting us to consider committing to? So they're saying committing, they would like us to commit more to our playfulness, living in joy, expansion. These are the energies that are going to bring you out of stagnation, out of that lack, out of feeling defeated. These are the energies that will help lift you out of that. And committing to that, committing to your well-being, your happiness, and your joy is really important at this time and always. And they're saying that they, which is true, and they, when I say they, I'm talking about the angelic realm. Metatron is the one that's speaking to me right now. But the angelic realm, our guides and guardians, you know, they can only meet us so far. They can only help us so much. So it's important to help. It's important for us to meet them part way. And how we can do that is with our frequency. The easiest way to get to that frequency that makes it easier to connect with them is through the frequency of joy, play, imagination. Again, going back to that card of belief too, you know, that believing that anything is possible. And the more you tune into this energy, Spirit will start to show you in very subtle ways that they're there. You know, and I know often we say, oh, what a coincidence. Well, there are no coincidences. That's the universe working on your behalf, working to help you. You know, it's that type of thing. So 3 cards for commitment. What would you like? What else would you like us to know about commitment? So we have the 4 of Swords in reverse. We have the 8 of Swords upright. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Swords is about communication. It's about thoughts. And then we have the Pentacles. That's material things. That's everything in this life, in this realm. So it's interesting that something that was coming up a lot that I've noticed in the December readings has been they've talked about rest, recovery, recuperation, wellness, diet, taking better care of our bodies, and that sort of thing. The 4 of Swords upright often speaks of needing a rest, taking a break, pulling back your energy. But we have it in reverse. So this is avoiding self-reflection. This is not wanting to look at where we are tripping over ourselves, not wanting to look at where we are cutting ourselves off from source. And because we're not wanting to look at that. You know, we often are going to feel very stuck. We're going to feel like we don't have a say, we don't have a choice, we're powerless. This is giving over your power, but that's not true. So, and with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, this to me is very clearly saying that, you know, if you're expecting the world to show you what you are worth, it's not accurate. It's not an accurate lens. If you're expecting if you're expecting to find peace in the chaos of this world, which, by the way, is just going to become more chaotic. And I feel like that's why so many of these messages are very similar. You've got to slow down, and you've really got to take a look at the parts of you that maybe you don't want to look at. What are the things that are cutting you off? What are the things that are keeping you down? What are the things that are really distracting you? Because finding that, you know, committing to your well-being is also is self-reflection. Where are you getting off track? Where are you repeating cycles that just keep you in a destructive loop? You know, these are the things that Spirit is wanting us to look at. And that's never fun. I mean, you know, it's just not. And also, you definitely not what the world reflects back to you as far as self-worth goes is often not accurate. So committing to our well-being. So maybe, you know, this month, take a look at what kind of throws you off. Where are you maybe feeling really good? You're having a good day, and then what knocks you off? What kind of sends you in a tailspin? You know, pay attention to that. So committing to self-reflection, committing to looking at the parts of us that we don't want to look at, that we don't want to see. And it's important to look at these things because these are the things that keep us stuck. They take away our power and make us believe that we're powerless. It's also the thing that really drains our energy as well. I just want to look at my notes here and see if there's anything that that I'm missing here. So let's move on to flow. So moving into water. Oh, I know what I wanted to say about going back a little bit to the color of magenta. That's also the color of the healer. That's the color of divine love. So magenta is another great energy to help us connect in with source and with our higher self as well, which I think I mentioned that. But so flow. Beautiful card. See if I can get it into focus there. There we go. Flow. So the energy of water. Water is the direction of west. It has a very feminine energy to it. The direction of west is also the direction of, letting go. Perfect for the new moon. New moons are all about letting go. New moons are also about self-reflection, looking at what needs to go, looking at what has become stagnant and stale in your life. Where are the pools of stagnant water that, you know, need to be drained and let go of? West is also the energy of compassion, love, taking care of yourself, taking care of others, but definitely the focus of this video is more on taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. But water flows around obstacles, going back to the violet flame, which helps remove obstacles and density. Water moves around it. How can we become more flexible? How can we become more fluid? And I'm also getting the energy here of how can you flow around the people in your life that trigger you? How can you flow around as you need to work on those triggers. That's part of the self-reflection too. But as you're working on moving through those triggers and seeing what those triggers are about, how can you move around those situations for the time being so that you're not thrown into a complete tailspin? Flow. What else would you like us to know about flow? Okay, so what Metatron is saying is it's about honoring yourself. It's about honoring your divine flow. And what we mean by that when we say honoring yourself and honoring your flow is that oftentimes honoring your flow is not going to match up with what society expects of you or needs from you, or what the world is wanting from you. So there's often quite the contrast here when we are asking you to be in flow. It means honoring what is true and right for you, and from an energetic place, from your divine energetic self. And also honoring the body. So at times, you might be feeling like, oh, I need to take a nap. Honor that. That might be in direct contrast with your long to-do list. It's important to honor yourself. There's definitely a need to slow down, to slow the mind down, to slow down the activity, to slow everything down. The pandemic was a great example of many factors coming in to stop you, slow you down, and force self-reflection. Some of you have done this, some have not done this, but we're noticing that people are wanting to pick up the pace again. You're wanting to rush back into the lives that you were leading before the pandemic that weren't necessarily in alignment. We're noticing that people are wanting to almost kind of forget that time, and forget what was coming up for them. We just want you to realize that the things that you try to shut down, shut off, ignore, well, they will come back. They will come back. So we are inviting everyone to slow down again, to take time for yourself, to take time to feel what you are feeling, to grieve if you need to grieve, to give yourself that space. And that's going to be needed more and more moving into 2025, 2026, through 2028. And it's not just, it's the whole planet. Everything is really changing. And the human body isn't used to these energies. So your health and well-being, your physical health is going to be really important. And this doesn't have anything to do with your age either. We really get tired of hearing people say, oh, it's because you're this age, you're that age, you're tired, that's normal. No, that isn't. That is a direct result of you cutting yourself off from source, from your divine essence. Age has nothing to do with that. But the body is not used to the energies, the frequencies that we are in now. So it's going to take some getting used to. So fatigue, feeling tired, and these are all things that need to be honored at this time. And that might be, you might not want to do that. The human part of you very much might be saying, well, I've got many other things that I want to do, places I want to go, things I need to get done. Slowing down and honoring yourself is really important. So what I'm seeing now is the energy of silver. The silver ray was coming in. I noticed that was coming in several different things. I think with lavender, it was coming through with lavender. But the color silver, the color ray of silver might be really useful. Where this slowing down and being in flow, that's very much feminine energy. That is that inner voice that's really quiet, that can be hard to hear. silver helps you connect with that. Silver is also connects with the moon cycles, that slowing down. So I feel like silver might be a really important color ray to work with right now. And also wearing silver, that connects you to that frequency as well. So let's pull 3 cards, just looking at the energy of flow. What else, Spirit, would you like to say about flow? And then we'll move on to the message from Lavender and the cardinal energy. Well, flow is where your abundance is as well. That's where you are releasing pain in your body, is when you are in your divine flow. You're not going to find the pain, the disease, all of that when you are in flow. When you are standing in your power and really feeling what you need to feel. It's not running from experiences. It's not running from pain or trying to hide from pain or grief or difficult situations. Facing things head on. Okay, so 3 cards. Cards are just a nice visual too, I think. Okay, so 3 cards for flow. What else do we need to know about flow? And then we will move on to, I think, cardinals, and maybe we'll end it with lavender because that feels really nice. Oh yeah, it was the lavender that was bringing through the silver. I wrote that down. I knew it was coming from somewhere. 7 of Wands in reverse. So many reverse cards. Okay, nice. We've got the Empress upright. Beautiful. Oh, perfect. And the 9 of Pentacles. So we started off, the collective energy that we started off reading on was very much lack energy, feeling very limited, stagnant, powerless. When you are in flow, when you are in that divine flow, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. There isn't a need to defend yourself. There isn't a need to argue, fight. There's not that need. You're just, you don't need, you just, that's not there. It's not important. This is very much, the energy of ego. So putting your ego down, maybe your ego loves to have the last word, have the last say, get the last, kick in or whatever. When you're in flow, that's just not interesting. You're letting that part of you go, that part of you that feels like it needs to be on the defense or defend itself. That is not there. We have the Empress popping in right here in the middle. She is the archetype of the Divine Mother, nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, and she moves effortlessly. It does not take energy to bring all of this in. It is being open to receive what is divinely meant for you. When you are in flow, it's really easy to divinely receive what is meant for you. Also, your ego's not in it either. Your ego's not in it judging if that is right for you or wrong for you, or maybe you feel like you deserve something better or something more. Your ego's not a part of that. It's just being open to receive what the universe has to offer you. What I really love here, and this is interesting. So the 9 of Pentacles, it's enjoying living a beautiful, luxurious life. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with money, but being very comfortable and at ease, being in a state of gratitude and knowing that all of your needs are being met, knowing that there's nothing for you to worry about. And it's a matter of just being open. It's not striving for something or going after something. So much of what is coming through at this time for us to look at is energetic. It's not about something you necessarily have to physically do. It's more about reflection. What's going on in the subconscious? What is that inner voice telling you? What have you been trying to run from and hide from? When you can get yourself in a place of flow, things unfold a lot easier. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be, painful, and there's not going to be, tough things going on, but you move through it a lot easier. So they're giving me the, I guess this is a good example. So quite often when, like, this is kind of a shitty example, but quite often when people are drunk and they crash, they live. It's because they're just completely relaxed. They're in flow. They're going with it. They're not fighting against it. Not, please, nobody drink and drive. I'm just giving, this is the example that popped into my head. They are, they're not restricting. They're not tensed up. They're not expecting anything. They're just going with it. So it's that type of energy, that things can be less painful if you're not pushing and contracting against the energy. If you're going with it, you don't necessarily have to like it, but you're moving through it as gently as possible. I also feel like that type of thing is, it is, I believe, a skill because it's hard. I think our human self, the human part of us, I've noticed, at least with me, I want to logically like figure shit out. I want to physically do something to make something better, when oftentimes what's being asked is just sit back, chill out, and stop expecting things to happen in a certain way. Let things unfold and unravel the way that they're going to unfold and unravel. And then, feel into that. So it's a lot of, trusting how your body is feeling, not pushing against your body. And again, it's really tapping into that feminine part of you. Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. We all have a feminine side. And it really is listening to that quiet part of you, that inner voice. This could also be advice and guidance coming through from source. It's very subtle energy. It gets easier to hear and feel and experience the more you're in that energy, but it does require slowing down. It does require being quiet. It requires softness. So yeah, interesting there. Okay. Whew. I just got a little zing up my spine there. Okay, so, oh yeah, we're ending with lavender. So let's talk about the cardinal energy. I love that the cardinals came through. I've never seen one in real life. I think they're beautiful birds. I love birds. Again, I know I've said that. I would love to be a bird, fly away, run away. That's I like to escape. That can definitely be a vice for me. That is one of those, that's a part of me that I'm constantly having to work on and really look at. It's like, because, it can be, okay, do you really need time out? Do you really need time away from people? Or are you just trying to escape something? It's interesting because oftentimes the things that are self-defeating, or the things that keep us stuck in a loop, are often at times things we really do need for our health and well-being. So it's finding that balance there and being very honest with ourselves. So the cardinal, the message of the cardinals, and I'll pull some cards on this. So this card, it says, thyself bleeds of sacredness and honor fit for the gods. You are worth all the seas and all the skies and all the desires you hold inside. Well, that's a beautiful message. And again, this card came out of the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle deck. That's a really beautiful message, and I do feel like that definitely taps into kind of the theme of this video, which is tapping into your divine self. You are worth all the seas and all the skies and all the desires you hold inside. That's really beautiful. That also reminds me of that message that, you know, God doesn't put a desire on your heart that you can't fulfill or that isn't meant for you. I think it's really easy to get lost in what is a desire on our heart versus what we want or what we want to strive for, because that is what the world expects of us, or that is what our egos want us to have in this world. They're very different things, and we're very much being asked in some regards to really look at what is of the world and what is coming from within. Really looking at that, because that's where you're going to find your true peace, happiness, joy, abundance, all of that. Oh, Maggie, I don't know if you can hear her. So cardinals. So I didn't know much about cardinals. So I'm just going to read to you what I got out of the Animal Speak book. Mags, do you want to come up here? By Ted Andrews. Mags? Oh, here she is. Hold on. We're going to have some Maggie medicine too, and I need a drink. Ow, she's clawing me. Okay, come here. Oh my goodness. Oh, Maggie. Hey, look. Whoops, I'm hitting the mic. Sorry, guys. Maggie. Say hi, look. So this is Maggie. I adopted her last August. So I had a cat die 2 years ago. My cat, Lucifer. I loved him. I love all my cats. He died 2 years. It'll be 2 years ago, December 21st, I believe. And then my other cat, Phil, he died June. It was a year ago this June. And I adopted Maggie in August. Yes, I know we're like a little bit of a detour. I adopted Maggie August of last year, is when she found me. And I was like, oh crap. Because I always say every time like one of my cats die, I'm like, not getting another one. And then just like a few months later, I have Maggie. So anyway, Maggie's saying hello. She's also sitting on my notes. So we have a little bit of a cat break. Oh, I also want to say, because oftentimes in videos I see people take a drink. I always want to know what they're drinking. Magic Hours tea. It's the breakfast in Paris. I really love it. I find that it really helps with brain fog. Okay. All right, Mags, can you sit on my lap? Oh, she's purring. I don't know if you can hear her. Okay, hold on. Can you sit on my lap? Okay, so talking about cardinals. So this is this comes from the Animal Speak book. She's really shutting, by Ted Andrews. So cardinals bring in the energy of opportunity. There's always an opportunity to renew your vitality and to recognize the importance of our roles. So really looking at vitality and going back to, as I reflected on the readings that I've done so far for December, vitality, health and wellness, diet and nutrition are coming up big time. So I feel like the energy of cardinals is coming up to remind us to take care of our bodies, to pay attention to our vitality, to pay attention to what is pulling from our life force, what is taking away from our life force, and really, make that a priority. The other thing that I notice with the cardinals is the color red. You really notice that. So what is really standing out, or what is continually coming up for you that maybe you're ignoring? Take a look at that this month. I do feel like that's coming up for a reason. The color red connects with our root chakra. This is the basics, getting back to the priorities. You know, what do you need for your health and wellness? Really paying attention to that, paying attention to your vitality. I also feel like that was going back into the message of commitment too. It's really easy to see where we are losing energy at times if we're in destructive relationships or bad habits or, you know, all of that, but we lose a lot of energy in very subtle ways too. So I feel like we're being asked to take a look at that. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, that Ted Andrews spoke about in his book is bird whistles are reminders to listen closely to our inner voice, that feminine energy. Listen to that more closely regarding our health and well-being, specifically with cardinals. So if you hear a cardinal whistle, that is an invitation to listen to your body, to listen to your health and well-being, make that a priority, and also to be careful with your diet. But I think any bird whistle, a reminder to listen, to slow down and listen. Our bodies give us signs and clues all the time. Spirit talks to us all the time, constantly talking to us, giving us signs, giving us signals. Often we are too distracted to even notice them. I'm sure there's a message right here with Maggie on my lap that I'm not getting. Oh my goodness, she really needs to be brushed. So what else is there to say about the cardinal energy, the energy? Can you guys see all the fur flying? I brush my cats a lot too. They're just so furry. Okay. 3 cards. Sorry, Mags. 3 cards for cardinal energy, and then we'll end it with lavender. And that will be this video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your time with me. I know time is valuable, and I hope there's something that you've gotten from this that is helpful, because that's the whole freaking point. Okay, so 3 cards, cardinal energy. What else do we need to know about the message the cardinals are bringing through? 3 cards, please. I'm kind of balancing Maggie here because she doesn't have her full back legs. So she's only got, like, basically, I think it would be equivalent to her knee. So from her knee down, she doesn't have. So she's a little wobbly on my lap. So we've got the moon upright. We've got the King of Wands in reverse, and we've got the 8 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, very much it's really just kind of recapping. Woo! She's falling off my lap. What I've already said. So the moon is tapping into the subconscious energy, our feminine energy, really looking at what is pulling you out of your vitality. What is taking away your energy? What is depleting your life force, basically? And we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. This is something that, I feel like with the 8 of Cups in reverse, you already know what that is. You already know what it is that you need to move away from or stop doing. It's just a matter of making that commitment to make that change. So take a look at that. So cardinals are definitely bringing in the energy of health, well-being, vitality, really looking at that. So I'd like to end it with lavender. Really beautiful. So lavender popped up, and the way that I often see, I just see things in my mind, and lavender was coming in. Lavender carries the frequency of being open to receive love in particular. Lavender connects to the angels of compassion. So I also feel like Kuan Yin comes in on this energy. Mother Mary comes in. Any of the angels of compassion. It's heart chakra. It connects with our heart and higher heart chakra. What I find interesting is the etheric colors of lavender. This is where the silver came in. The etheric colors of lavender are silver and gold and blue and green. I thought that was really interesting. So that silver and gold, that is to me, bringing in the divine masculine and the divine feminine is blending those two. Silver holds the frequency of the divine feminine, gold holds the frequency of the divine masculine. And then we also have the blue and green, very protective energies that are all about renewal and healing, bringing in peace and serenity. But also it made me think of like a water, you know, like a, I don't know, like turquoisey kind of calm, beautiful waters. So connecting in with that water energy as well. So I wanted to read a message from, this is The Fragrant Heavens, Valerie Ann Warwood, her book. And what I love in here, she talks about the etheric colors of essential oils and of herbs. So I that's very beautiful. Connecting with plants, connecting with crystals, these are all beautiful ways of connecting with energies that maybe we're not in alignment with. Connecting with these frequencies help us connect to our true self. They help us connect with our guides and guardians, and they help us bring us back to ourself. I know for me, scent is huge. The quickest way to shift my energy or to shift how I'm feeling is through scent. It's interesting in this book, they talk about, there's a theory that the whole thought of putting your hands together in prayer comes from in ancient times. Scent was huge, so perfumes and oils, putting them on your hands and then smelling them and then communing with the gods was where the whole thing of putting your hands together in prayer possibly comes from. It's huge. They do really help connect us with the angels, with the angelic realm, with those higher frequencies. So it's a tool for us to use to help connect with, to help us connect with source. You can use essential oils. You could use auric sprays. This is one of Amanda Ellis's auric sprays. It's lavender. So I'm just going to spray a little in my hand since Maggie's on my lap. I don't want to spray it on her. Love it. Peaceful, relaxing. Definitely connects to the heart chakra. Sorry, I just hit the mic. I can feel that in my higher heart and heart chakra. So let me just go ahead and leave you with this because this video is going a little long. And Maggie, you're so cute. Okay, so lavender embodies the warm, protective love of Mother Earth. It is caring, cherishing, and nurturing, and energetically very active in the auric field closest to the body. That's another thing I love. She talks about how far out different oils, whether they expand further into the auric field or they're closer to the body. I find that really interesting too. It is caring, cherishing, and nurturing, and energetically very active in the auric field closest to the body, incorporating heavenly energies into the physical with great efficiency. When deep sadness covers the spirit like a suffocating blanket, lavender gently lifts the weight. When the inner tears fall, lavender wipes them away. When depression clouds the psyche, lavender blows it under. And for those with worries that trouble the spirit, lavender lifts the veil of despair. The mother of essential oils will not tolerate bitterness, malice, or jealousy in her mortal brood, but with compassion seeks to bring out the best in all of us, letting us know that we are all her precious children, and we all have our destiny of goodness to fulfill. So I feel like that's a good place to leave it. It kind of sums up what Metatron was trying to bring through. We all have a destiny of goodness to fulfill, and jealousy, bitterness, malice, these are all things that can throw us off our path. So connecting with lavender, try it if you haven't tried it. You can use it as an essential spray. You can get food grade lavender to put in food to if you want to eat it, if you want to ingest it that way. The oils is a great way. I'm going to put Maggie down. Oops. Sorry, Mags. There you go. There you go, Missy. So anyway, just a beautiful way of connecting with lavender. I will also say amethyst if you're wanting to work with a crystal amethyst or a 23 amethyst. That would be really fantastic to work with as well. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back and I'll do a video around Yule time. Check out your zodiac readings. I'm slowly putting them up right now. And if you have any questions, let me know. Take care and we'll see you soon.